Hello everyone, it's Shannon with Waffle Flower Crafts. In today's video, I will show you how to create an easy dimensional foiled background that provides beautiful shine and wonderful texture with Decofoil's transfer gel and their iridescent foil, my new favorite. I will then combine this background with a copic colored rainbow and cat from our new Rainbow Cheers combo set. I'm going to start by creating the background. I have an A2 panel here made from 110-pound cardstock, so some really good heavyweight cardstock. You need something that's strong to withstand and make sure it doesn't buckle underneath the large amount of transfer gel we're going to put on top. So I just opened up the Decofoil transfer gel and put on about a tablespoon down directly onto my paper, and now I'm spreading it around with a Cricut spatula. You of course could use a putty knife or a small metal spatula if you have that. I'm just spreading it around. I'm not getting it completely flat. I'm leaving a fair amount of texture because I definitely want to see that texture once I foil. So I'm just trying to concentrate it in the center of this panel. Now that I've spread it out as wide as I'd like, I closed up my transfer gel and I'm now going to set it aside so it can dry for an hour. It might even need to dry for a little bit longer than that because there are some areas that are pretty thick. I'm now ready to stamp my image. I'm pulling the cat off of the Cheers stamp set and I'm going to use my Misty to stamp it today. You of course could use acrylic block if you prefer. I'm going to stamp it on some white cardstock in Memento Tuxedo Black, but before I ink it up I kind of clean the stamp off with my hand to remove any lint and to also transfer the oil from my skin onto the stamp. I find that makes the stamp really receptive to the ink and I get a cleaner, crisper image that way. Before I copic color this cat in, I'm going to take the rainbow die from the Rainbow Cheers combo set and die cut that rainbow out of the upper portion of that white cardstock. Just ran it through my die cutting machine and now I'm just going to pop it out. This die will cut out all the stripes for the rainbow and it also leaves this really beautiful kind of white border or whatever color your cardstock border around the stripes. I just love this die. I love the intricacy of it. It's just a beautiful die. So now I'm going to move on to copic coloring in my cat and the rainbow. I'm going to start with the cat. I have all the colors I'm using on screen so you can follow along. I'm going to play some music and I'll meet you back when I'm just about done. Okay, I am back. I'm just finishing up that green stripe. Now I'll do the blue real quick, just using a couple blues to finish up this last stripe of the rainbow. After I color this blue stripe in, I go back to the green and just add a little bit more of the light green to blend it out, and that will complete all my copic coloring. So off camera, I die cut the cat out with the Cheers matching die, and now I'm going to take a Decofoil adhesive pen and apply it to the sunglasses. This is so I can add some foil to the sunglasses as well. The way this marker works, or pen works, is when you press down, the tip collapses and then will release some glue, so just be careful with your pressure. And I'm not really stroking like I normally would with a marker. I'm just kind of tapping the pen over the area that I want the adhesive to go. While the adhesive is drying on the cat's sunglasses, I'm going to move on to stamping my sentiment. I have some black cardstock mounted into my MISTI here. I pulled off the Cheers sentiment from the Cheers stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it with my MISTI. First I put down some anti-static powder, and now I'm going to ink up the sentiment with some Versamark ink. I'm using my MISTI for my sentiment because I want to stamp it twice. I found that if I stamp twice when I'm going to do heat embossing, I have better heat embossing results. So now I am dipping the strip into the white embossing powder, tapping off the excess, and now I'm heat setting it with my heat gun. Once I heat set this, I will trim it down with my paper trimmer so I have a smaller sentiment strip. I'm now going to move on to putting together my rainbow. I'm going to start by flipping over all the components of the rainbow die cut, starting with the frame, and now I'm flipping over the stripes and placing them inside of the frame. Once I have all the stripes inside, I'm going to pull off pieces of washi tape, nice long pieces, making sure that they cover all the stripes of the rainbow. And now I'm adjusting the stripes, making sure they come all the way to the edges of the frame and everything is inlaid perfectly. Now that I'm got my die cuts all in place, I'm going to take a pair of scissors and trim down my excess washi tape. And now my rainbow's all put together, and you can get a good look at that graded colors that we got. A really pretty addition to this card. Now we are ready to foil. As you see here, I have my laminator on screen. It's good and hot. I had it heating up for a good 30 minutes before I started laminating. My A2 panel with the transfer gel is dry, as well as the adhesive on the cat sunglasses are dry. I'm now going to grab a little piece of that iridescent foil, which I trimmed down, load the cat into the carrier sheet, and here I make a big mistake. So you can see I turn it around here, and now I'm loading the carrier sheet into the laminator, but I didn't load it folded side first. I loaded it open side first, and you can see how it's all crinkled once I was done. That's because my carrier sheet got stuck inside my laminator, and I had to use a piece of white cardstock, some heavy 110-pound white cardstock, and ran that through to kind of push the carrier sheet out. My cat foiled beautifully though, but I did kind of ruin my carrier sheet. So in the future, just make sure if you are foiling, make sure you load your carrier sheet fold side first to reduce any of that carrier sheet getting stuck inside your laminator. Now I'm going to foil that transfer gel background. I didn't even use the carrier sheet this time. Honestly, I was a little scared, and I just put the foil on top and just ran it right on through. You can see here it foiled beautifully, went through cleanly. I love this iridescent foil. I just love all the color and shine in this foil, and I think it looks so cool on this transfer gel. You can see how it just came right off there, and we have all this beautiful texture from the gel and this beautiful shine from that iridescent foil. So fun and pretty. So now I'm almost ready to put together this card. I have all the pieces just about finished except for this cat. As you can see here, some of that foil got onto the cat's frame of the sunglasses. That adhesive pen doesn't have a fine point, so it is difficult to kind of control where that adhesive goes. Luckily, it's easy to remove. I'm just using a needle. You could use a die pick as well. You just want something with a sharp tip, and I am just scraping off that foil anywhere it got onto the cat's frame of the sunglasses. And now I'm taking a Sharpie, a permanent marker, and going over the cat's frame. And now it's all neat and tidy, and the foil is only inside the lenses of the sunglasses. I went ahead and added some foam tape to the backside of the rainbow and doubled up some foam tape and added it to the backside of the sentiment strip. I doubled up the foam tape because I want that sentiment to be overlapping the rainbow just a bit, so I need a little bit more height on that sentiment so it can go over the rainbow. The first thing I'm going to do is adhere my panel onto my card base. So I have an A2 top folding white card base. I'm going to use some Tombow Mono multi-liquid adhesive to adhere this panel down. I just applied the glue all over the back side of the panel and flipped it over, placed it down to my card base. I'm just going to hold it down here until the glue sets a little bit. I really like using liquid glue. I find I get a great hold, and it allows me to have a little wiggle room so I can make sure I get that panel on my card base nice and straight. Now I'm just arranging my images and my sentiment, kind of figuring out where I want everything to go. I'm going to double up some foam tape because I realized I want the cat to kind of overlap the rainbow as well, and I kind of placed the foam way to the right side of the cat so it's not in the way of the rainbow. Now I'm going to remove the backing on the foam tape on the rainbow, place that down. I'm going to actually pull it up here because I want it a little bit more centered. I realized it was a little bit too far left, and pull off the backing now on the cat. And now all I have left to do is the sentiment, so I'll just arrange that over on the right side of the card, kind of tuck that cheers over the cat, and that will complete my card. I will now hold the card up to the camera so you can get a better look at that beautiful iridescent foil. I love the texture of this background and all that shine. Really kind of resembles water, and that gorgeous rainbow die cut with the cute cat from the Cheers stamp set. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card and video. If you want any more information on the products I used, please visit waffleflower.com, and you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas. Thanks for watching!